Hello students, today we are going to do a sum covering all three activities together, that is operating activity, investing activity and financing activity. In short, we are doing a complete sum on cash flow statement but without adjustment. So I have taken one question student where there are no additional information given to you, there is no adjustments given to you, they have given just in question balance sheet and note to account. Now this is a very simple sum, but since this is a very first sum, I want you to understand how cash flow statement is made with all the three activities together at a time: operating, investing and financing. So let's start with the sum, students. Also one more thing, since the question is too big, it's not possible to write it on the board. I am going to send you a link of a question below this video. So below this video, you just click on that link and you can download the question, you can take a printout and you can refer to question while watching this video. Okay, so do remember this thing. There is a link given for a question below this video. Okay, let's continue now. Now in question, as I said, they have given you balance sheet and below balance sheet they have given you a note to account. Now when you make a complete cash flow statement, entire sum, remember the title must be complete. Don't write only cash flow statement. You have to also write this for the year ended and also with the date 31st March 2020. So don't write only cash flow statement, write it full. This is the one thing which is important. Now after that you will start with the first activity, that is operating activity. And you know students, now your operating activity starts with net profit before tax. So we are going to find this amount in a working note. So that is my working note number 1, calculation of net profit before tax. And how to start with this calculation? You will take a closing surplus, that is balance in P&L statement. Now this is given to you in note to account. Now in note to account you will see reserves and surplus is given in the question. Now under reserves and surplus they have given you surplus balance in statement of P&L of the current year and of the previous year. Now current year is a closing surplus. So current year ka closing they have given to you 60,000. From this you minus opening surplus balance in P&L. So they have given last year ka surplus, previous year's surplus as 50,000. So difference is 10,000. This we take it as profit for the year. Now what we are going to do in this? We are going to add in this 4 items, that is proposed dividend, interim dividend, provision for tax and transfer to general reserve. So we need to find now one by one where these things are given in the question. Now proposed dividend you will find, students, in the balance sheet under a heading current liability. They will give you short term provision. Let's find it out whether in this question they have given. So in this question under a current liability they have given trade payable to you, they have given other current liability to you. Now so this means they have not given to us short-term provision. They have not given us proposed dividend. So put dash. Interim dividend, where it will be given, students, it will be given in adjustment. So this is a sum which we have taken off without adjustment. So there is no adjustment in this. So interim dividend is also not there. Provision for tax, where it will be given, students, under short-term provision. So these both items will be given under short-term provision. Under current liability. In the question it will be given under current liability as short-term provision, both the items, proposed dividend and provision for tax. Now in this question, this is not there. So in this sum, they have not given us proposed dividend, they have not given us provision for taxation. Both are missing. They have not given short-term provision in the sum. Now, what is next item? Transfer to general reserve. This will be given under reserves and surplus. So they have given only surplus, which we have already taken a note of it, but general reserve item is not given. So this is again dash. So what is your net profit before tax, student? There is nothing to add in this. So your net profit before tax is 10,000. This you will write in the outer column. Then what is next heading, students? We have done this operating activity. We have done individually all the activities. So what we are doing in this class today is we are clubbing all our understanding together. We are putting all understanding together in one sum. So what comes next under operating activity? Yes, student, correct. Non-cash and non-operating expenses. So what comes under non-cash? Depreciation and amortization. So we charge depreciation on tangible asset. We write off, we amortize our intangible asset. So we need to check in question in balance sheet fixed assets. So let's see in question, inside the balance sheet, go on the asset side. On the asset side you will see fixed asset return, and in question they have given us both the items, tangible, intangible. So let's check first tangible. Check the question. Tangible assets they have given 2,98,000. That is at the end of the current year. At the beginning of the current year they have given to us 1,75,000. So I am repeating, listen carefully. At the beginning of the year they have given opening balance 175 and your closing balance is 298. Yes, students, your balance is increasing. Opening balance was 1,75,000, closing balance is 2,98,000. So your balance is increasing. So if your balance is increasing in tangible asset, you can't take it as depreciation. So what you will assume now? If your assets are increasing, you will assume it as purchase of tangible assets, purchase of fixed asset. If it is decreasing, then yes, you can take that difference amount as depreciation. But in this sum which we have taken, in this sum, the balance is not decreasing, it is increasing. So I am going to take this as purchase of fixed asset. Now think, students, and answer me where this purchase of fixed asset goes. I mean to ask here is, it will go under which activity? Purchase of fixed asset will go under operating activity, or will go under investing activity, or will go under financing activity? Yes, students, you are correct. Purchase of fixed asset will go under investing activity. I hope you remember the keywords of investing activity. What comes under investing activity? Two keywords, anything related to fixed asset and investment. What comes under financing activity? Three keywords, shares, debentures, bank loan. So this is related to fixed asset, will go under investing activity. Understood, students? So here balance is increasing. We can't take it as depreciation if the balance is increasing. So what I will take it as purchase of fixed asset. Now let's check intangible asset in the question, student. Check your question. In the question they have given intangible asset and in bracket they have written goodwill. Let's check the balance. Opening balance is 60,000, 60,000, and closing balance for this year is 45,000. So students, what is happening? Your balance is 60,000 opening balance and closing balance is 45. So it is decreasing. So what you will take? This is intangible asset. So you will take it as amortization of goodwill. You can also write this way, goodwill written off, whatever way you want to write, amortization of goodwill, or you can write it as goodwill written off. So you have to take the difference now. 60,000 minus 45,000. So there is a difference of 15,000. So how much of goodwill is written off during the year? 15,000. That will come as a non-cash. Done. So we are done with the depreciation and amortization. These two things comes under non-cash, and non-operating expenses are loss on sale of asset. The question doesn't arise of loss because adjustments are not there. So there is no loss. So done with the non-cash, non-operating. This 15,000 you write it in outer column. What to do with these two amounts, students? We have written add. So we are going to add these two amounts. 25,000. Now you will write less non-operating income. Let's check whether in sum they have given you non-operating income somewhere. No, students. Non-operating income is not given. Where to check this? You have to check this inside the balance sheet on the asset side. Non-current investment, you have to check there, because whenever you make an investment you receive something. You may receive interest on investment, you may receive dividend on investment. So that interest received, dividend received will become your non-operating income. So there are no non-current investments given to you. You can put dash, it's not given. So this 25,000 you can write it as operating profit before working capital changes. Now what comes next, student? Add increase in current liability, decrease in current asset. Next heading is opposite of this, decrease in current liability and increase in current asset. So let's find out, students. You have to check in your balance sheet current liability. So let's check current liability first. If it is increasing, we are going to write here. If it is decreasing, we will write under this heading. Let's check current liability, students, first. So check the question and check in the balance sheet on the liability side, current liability first. Under current liability, they have given you trade payable. So trade payable opening balance was 1,05,000, closing balance is 1,40,000. So your balance got increased from 1,05,000 to 1,40,000. It is increasing. So increase in current liability, you will write it here. Trade payables. Again you have to take difference. 1,45,000 minus 1,40,000 minus 1,05,000. So answer is 35,000. There is a increase in current liability. Opening balance was 1,05,000, closing balance is 1,40,000, means your current liability is increasing. So it will come under increase in current liability. Let's check another current liability. They have given you other current liability. In bracket question they have written outstanding expenses. Outstanding expenses opening balance was 20,000 and closing balance is 8,000. So what is happening? From 20,000 it got decreased to 8,000. This is decrease in current liability. So you will write it here. Outstanding expenses 20, you will take a difference. 20,000 minus 8,000, answer is 12,000. So here this is decreasing. Your current liability is decreasing. So you will write under this heading. Trade payable was increasing. So you will write under that heading. Now you are done with the current liability. Now check in the balance sheet current asset. So go on the asset side, students. Check the question. Under current asset they have given you inventories. Now inventories opening balance was 2 lakh and closing balance is 2 lakh 80. So it is increasing. Increase in current asset will go here. Inventories, it is increasing. Inventories. What was the balances given to you? 2,80,000 Again you have to take difference, students. The difference is 80,000. You have to minus opening closing balance. So done with the inventories. Next they have given you trade receivable. Opening is 120, closing is 92. It got decreased. So decrease in current asset will go here. Decrease in trade receivables. You have to again take a difference. Difference of 120 minus 92,000. So 120 minus 92,000. Let's check the balance. 120 minus 92,000. 28,000. Now, cash and cash equivalent. This is the third item given in the current asset. Cash and cash equivalent. Now, if you remember, students, cash and cash equivalent, we write it separately. So, cash flow statement is divided into 4 parts. First part is operating activity. Second part, investing activity. Third, financing activity. And fourth part is this, cash and cash equivalent, which is given under current asset. So, don't write it here. We are going to write cash and cash equivalent as a fourth part at the end of the statement, not now. So we are done with this. Let's do the totaling. $63 you have to add in this. $92,000 you will have to subtract it. So 92,000 you have to minus from this. It's a negative answer. No. 5 plus 3, 8. 6 plus 2, 8. 88. 88 minus 92. It's a negative answer. $4,000. So your negative answer is 4,000. You will write this as cash generated from operation. So cash generated from operation is negative answer, 4,000. From this you will minus tax paid, which is not given. So your final answer is negative. What to write for negative answer? You will write it as cash used in. Whenever it's negative, you have to write used in operating activity. This is your answer number 1. So we are done with the operating activity. Now we are continuing with the second part of cash flow statement. This is cash flow from investing activity. You have to continue with your second activity now. We write investing activity into 2 parts. Inflow and outflow. So for investing activity, tell me students, if you remember, what are the keywords? What comes under investing activity? The keywords are fixed asset and investment. So you check in your question in the balance sheet, check the fixed asset amount. They have given under fixed asset both items, tangible asset, intangible asset. First you check tangible asset. So opening balance is 1,75,000 and closing balance is 2,98,000. So your balance is increasing. What you will assume, student, if your fixed asset balance increases, it means you have purchased a fixed asset. That's the reason it's increasing in the business. So if your balance is increasing, you are purchasing it. Tell me, if you purchase your fixed asset, cash is coming in or going out? Cash is going out. So you will write it here. Purchase of fixed assets. You will write it in bracket to show outflow. So take the difference, students, now of 2,98,000 minus 1,75,000. So there is a outflow of 1,23,000. There is an outflow of 1,23,000. Now, what else is given? Under fixed asset, intangible asset, in bracket goodwill. The balance of goodwill is decreasing, which we have noted here already, students. Check amortization of goodwill return of 15,000. So that we have already considered. Now, so we are done with the fixed asset. Now check investment in the question, students. Have they given on asset side non-current investment somewhere? No. So there is nothing related to investment given to you. Fine. So you are done with the investing activity. There is no inflow. There is only outflow. So your final answer you will write in outer column in bracket 1,23,000, and it is negative. So you will have to write it as cash used in. Whenever it is negative, write it as used in. Cash used in investing activity. This is your second answer. Now you have to continue with this cash flow statement with the third activity, that is financing activity. Here there is no space. I am continuing from there. Okay? So I am continuing from here now. The third activity is financing activity. Cash flow from financing activities. Again, inflow and outflow. So let's check, students. For financing activity, you remember what are the three keywords for financing activity? The three keywords are shares, debentures, bank loan. Let's check all three words in the balance sheet on the liability side. So on the liability side, student, check the question. On the liability side, share capital is given to you. Equity share capital is given to you. Last year, equity share capital was 3 lakh. This year, it is 4 lakh. So your capital balance is increasing. Remember, student, the rule, if it is increasing, you will take it as issue of shares, because your share capital is increasing. It is issue of shares. And tell me, students, think and answer me. If you are issuing shares, cash will come in or will go out? Whenever company issues shares to the public, company gets money. Cash is coming in. So you will write it as inflow, issue of equity share capital. And you have to write a difference, 4 lakh minus 3 lakh. So difference is 1 lakh. Understood? Now, what else comes under financing activity? Shares, we checked. Debenture, now check debenture. It will be given as long-term borrowing on the liability side itself. So see into the question, students. On the liability side, they have given to us non-current liability. Under that, they have given long-term borrowings. And for long-term borrowing, they have asked us to refer note number 2. So students, below the balance sheet, you will find note 2 account is given. So go to note 2 account number 2. They have given us a breakup of long-term borrowing. The breakup says we have a company have a mortgage loan. So what was the balances? Opening balance is 1 lakh. Opening balance is 1 lakh. Closing balance is 1 lakh 30. So mortgage loan is increasing. So students, now you have to think, balance is increasing, loan is increasing. What it shows? We have taken additional loan. If we take additional loan, students, think and answer me. It is inflow or outflow? Yes, it is inflow. Whenever your loan balance is increasing, means you have taken a money from bank. It's an inflow. So write in inflow, mortgage loan borrowed. You have to take again a difference of the balances. So mortgage loan balance is 130 minus 1 lakh. So you have taken an additional loan of 30,000. Now, again under long-term borrowing, they have given us second item, public deposit. It is again a borrowing which we have done from public. We have taken from public. Opening balance, they are saying opening balance is 70,000. closing balance is 10,000. From 70,000 it is decreasing. It decreased to 10,000. Means what it shows? That we have repaid. If the balance is going down, we have repaid. So repayment, you will write it as outflow. Repayment of public deposits. How much we repaid? 60,000. Outflow, you show it in brackets, students. So done with the long-term borrowing? Yes. So we are done with the financing activity. Your inflow ka total is 1,30,000. Your outflow ka total is 60,000. So A minus B will give you positive answer, 70,000. And you will write this as cash inflow from financing activity. It's a positive answer, you write it as inflow. Now you have to add all the three answers. Your first answer is this, number 1, cash used in operating activity. It is used in, remember student, it's a bracket, you have to minus. Second is again a bracket, used in investing activity, minus. And your third answer is this, positive, 70. So let's do, actually basically you have to add all the three activities. Add all the three activities, operating plus investing plus financing. But I'm not going to add. Why? Because my operating activity and investing activity is negative. So that I will minus because it is negative. So your answer is negative 57,000. Now what you have to do next? You have to add opening balance of cash and cash equivalent, which is given to you inside the balance sheet. I will tell you, inside the balance sheet, check on the asset side. On the asset side, under current asset, check cash and cash equivalent is given to you. And last year ka balance is the opening balance. So opening balance is how much? 90,000. Now this is negative, this is positive. So minus plus minus, minus it and sign of a greater number. 90 minus 57, that is 33,000. This is your final answer, and you can check your answer, students. Cash and cash equivalent, opening is given to you 90,000, closing is also given there. Check, opening is 90, next to 90 they have given 33,000, which you got the answer. So you have to write it as therefore closing balance of cash and cash equivalent is 33,000. So in exam you can check your answer, student. Answer is already there inside the question. They have given both the balances, opening and closing. Opening 90,000, you will add, and after adding whatever is your final answer, it has to be equal to the closing which is given next to the opening. So they have given 90,000, they have given 33,000. 33,000 is your answer. That is closing balance of cash and cash equivalent. This is how you will get to know in the exam itself whether you have done your cash flow statement correct or not. So closing balance of cash and cash equivalent is your answer. You can check your answer, students. So this is how we make all the three activities together. Thank you, students.